Origi is what Gareth Bale thinks he is.
क्या मतलब अगर मैनेजर क्लॉप के अलावा कोई और है, मैं वीडियो छोड़ के जा रहा हूँ फिलहाल। बाजियो, अरे रोबर्टो बाजियो आ गई टीम।
शुरू करें?
निधि ready?
Come on.
Yeah. All right, Nitika, let's go.
Let's
All
do
right.
this.
Perfect. So the first question you are going to answer, Nidhi, and then Manas you're going to answer. तो सोचना बिल्कुल नहीं है, जो दिमाग में आ रहा है पहले वही आंसर करना है. तो पहला क्वेश्चन है, Nidhi, for you. If Liverpool gets into Champions League finals, which is that club that you don't want to face?
Man City.
Manchester
All right.
United.
Over
Manchester United.
United. Sorry,
Manchester United.
you don't want to face Man United in the finals.
No.
All right. So second question is, who according to you has been phenomenal this season? Is it Mohamed Salah or Jota?
Allison.
Salah.
All right. Third question is, who is going to finish fourth in Premier League?
Arsenal.
Arsenal.
Hey. All
Arsenal.
right.
They have 2 games in hand. Arsenal. Yeah.
Okay. So fourth question is, if you could have any ex-player of Liverpool for the team that we are going to play tomorrow, Inter versus Liverpool, who is that ex-player going to be? Liverpool's ex-player, yeah.
Gerrard. I
Don't
mean,
think.
always. It's like my answer for that is always Gerrard.
I would go for Javi Alonso.
Xavi Alonso. Okay. So next question is, one player you want to sign in this coming summer transfer window.
Oh.
Jude Bellingham. If we are being, if any name is there, Jude Bellingham.
All right.
Honestly, just a backup for Trent is enough for me.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So next question is, see now after having Diaz, even though we have just signed one player, Luis Diaz, and उसके बाद ही ऐसा लगने लगा कि यार हमारे पास बहुत depth है squad में. That's because सारे injury वाले लोग भी वापस आ गए हैं. So it seems like we have enough number of players, even though we signed just one. But
Yeah.
that gives us a lot of depth in the forward line. So what is your front three going to be? मतलब अगर अपना classic front three तुमने choose करना है out of every player that we have right now, who's it going to be for you? Front three.
Salah, Mane, Jota.
Salah, Mane, Firmino.
Salah, Mane, Firmino. So you're going for the classic trio, right? Nice.
I love
So
Firmino.
next question is, you love Firmino, yeah. So for me, it's whenever the Anfield starts chanting "Si Senor," I sing with them because it's just so beautiful the way they
वो
do
तो
it.
बेंच पे रहता है तो भी गाते हैं हमारी पब्लिक से वो
I
कुछ
know.
फर्क नहीं पड़ता
वो स्क्वाड लिस्ट में भी नहीं होता तब भी गाते हैं
तब भी
सारे
गाती है
मतलब
तब भी गाती है पब्लिक आई एग्री
next question is, it's difficult for Liverpool to, see we know that जून में next season next year जून में सबका हमारे front three का contract खत्म हो रहा है तो अगर there is anybody that you have to let go of Salah, Mane or Firmino, who is it going to be? One player.
have to let go it will be Mane because I think Mane can be replaced. We cannot replace the goals of Mo Salah. We cannot replace the player that Firmino is.
Same. First of all, I hate you for asking this question, but
Yeah, you're right.
but
Yeah.
if you are making me choose, then it has to be Mane amongst these three.
All right. Okay. So second last question is, you have to choose whatever. Like I'm going to give you the options from that. That is Origi renewing his contract for 3 years, or Ox for 2 years, or Milner for 1 year.
So we have to pick one.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
I'll
a very
repeat: Origi for 3 years, Ox for 2 years, or Milner for 1 year.
I think in this Ox for 2 years because मेरे को value as a fan टीम का output में Ox का ज्यादा लगता है आगे भी खेल सकता है midfield में भी खेल सकता है तो मेरे हिसाब से Ox है बट ओरिगी को कॉन्ट्रैक्ट की जरूरत नहीं ओरिगी कभी भी खेल सकता है उसको ओपन पास है लिवरपूल के लिए
See, I'll choose Milner, and purely because look, football. I would say Origi. Football is nothing without Divock Origi. But I think he should go to a team now that he plays regularly. यहाँ पे he will not get those chances. Uh, we have a lot of young players in the squad. Milner can help a lot with his experience. So I'll choose Milner for 1 year.
I actually want to see Milner in the managing area now. I feel that, he has outdone himself wherever he's and such a good player, but then still I think that he would be a very good manager because he just gives that vibes, and I think that he's going to be an exceptional manager.
I
By the way,
think
the last question.
फ्यूचर में शायद से जेरार्ड मिलनर होंगे एनफील्ड के डगआउट
He
में वो
strikes me as a coach. He strikes me more as a coach, Milner,
Hmm.
because of how he is like he likes to lead by example. Uh,
हाँ
I think he will be very soon assisting a big manager.
हम्म
I can't wait to see that. I feel that'll be really nice to see Milner doing that. Anyhow, the last question for this rapid fire is that if you had to sell one of Naby Keita or Joe Gomez, who is it going to be?
these are tough FSG questions which are being asked. I would let go of. This is literally मैं टॉस कर रहा हूँ इधर मेरे जो दिमाग में आ जाएगा मैं वो आई वुड लेट गो ऑफ जो गोमेज
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah, this was a very easy question till last season because Joe Gomez would have been like, who would think about selling him? Um,
Absolutely.
I'd I'd also say Joe Gomez because I think now he is further down the pecking order, and we have
Hmm.
players to do that role. But again, this is a very tough question. I would retain Naby Keita because we he just gives something different.
Hmm. Okay, guys, thank you so much for the rapid fire. It's just that it has been a little difficult, otherwise कोई फायदा नहीं है उसको करने का, and it
सही
was
बात
fun to create these for you. Let's move on to the segment 2 now. And we're going to talk about Inter Milan versus Liverpool and the match that it is going to be. तो सबसे पहले जो पहला क्वेश्चन है that I would like to ask you मानस और वो ये है कि देखो लास्ट टाइम जब इंटर को फेस किया था उस टाइम पे हमारे जो मैनेजर थे बेनिटेस थे कैप्टन जेरार्ड थे है ना और जो वो फाइनल गोल मारा था वो टॉरेस ने मारा था इवन दो हम वो सेकंड लेग खेल रहे थे 1-0 से हम जीते थे एंड 2-0 ऑलरेडी स्कोर था एनफील्ड में जो हम जीते थे सो दैट वाज द होल सिनेरियो and that was the team that we had back then. So now it's Klopp, it's Henderson, and the team that we have. Would you switch it if you get the chance? Like, यार वो वाला better था, yeah, you think that this is better that we have the squad.
we have the best team in Europe. I would not change it for any team on planet Earth.
Hmm.
We have built this team. ये team हमने सिर्फ खरीदी नहीं है, हमने बनाई है. So I will not
Hmm.
exchange this team or switch this team by any team in the any and I said any team in the world. These are our players. Super proud
Hmm.
of our players and they literally live for the club and they ये सिर्फ emotion wise नहीं बोल रहा हूँ. These are bloody talented players. The best centre
Yeah.
back in the world, the best probably goalkeeper in the world, the best fullbacks in the world, the best defensive midfielder in the world, the best attacker in the world, African winner, Jota, the most underrated striker, Thiago. We have the best. We haven't seen the best of him. We are a great team. No way I'm switching this team. This is the best Liverpool squad I have ever seen.
Hmm. What do you think, Nidhi?
100%. Yeah. See, look, that the Rafa Benitez team was a good team, great team. This is the team that won us the Premier League, the one trophy that we always said, एक बार मरने से पहले we want to win the Premier League. This is the team. This is the team that won that. And you're right. I mean that team was more Rafa Benitez का squad जो था, his team was more of a cup team. This is a far more superior side. Of course, that
Hmm.
had Gerrard, so there's a lot of sentiment attached to it. Um,
Hmm.
but I think this squad, this team, this manager, uh, we are miles ahead.
Hmm.
ये टीम अगर क्रिकेटिंग टर्म्स में बोलो ना तो T20 में भी अच्छी है, ओडीआई में भी अच्छी है, टेस्ट में भी अच्छी है. दिस टीम कैन लिटरली प्ले अगेंस्ट एनी टीम जो डिफेंडिंग अच्छी करती है,
Hmm.
जो अटैकिंग अच्छी है, जो like Atletico जैसी टीम against we won twice. So we are the complete team, I think.
You know what is the beautiful thing that अभी इस टाइम पे इस point of time पे we are in FA Cup, we are in Carabao Cup, we are competing in Champions League and we are there in Premier League as well. जैसे मर्जी करके रिजल्ट्स निकाल रहे हैं. I think that is one of the most beautiful things. I would just like to quote here that is Paolo di Canio ने अभी एक इंटरव्यू में बोला था that Van Dijk is the weakest link right now for Liverpool going into this Inter Milan's match
ये कब बोला
because of
उसने?
that high.
Paolo Di Canio has
Yeah,
said
he
this.
said, yeah, he said that Liverpool concedes the same dangerous opportunities nowadays, vertical balls behind the defenders who then start their runs late. So he's saying that Virgil van Dijk is not up to the mark that he was once before. तो जब से इंजरी के बाद वो आया है, I think that is one point जहाँ पे इंटर मिलान पूरा like तोड़ेगा लिवरपूल को. So that's what he has said. What do you guys have to say about that?
We just did a podcast right now एक इंटर फैन के साथ और हमने उसको पूछा एक प्लेयर कौन सा है लिवरपूल का जिसका चेहरा देख के तुम्हारी फटती है और उससे बोला वर्जिल वैन डाइक.
Hmm.
I mean, I really respect Paolo Di Canio for his footballing sense, and I mean, he is a great player.
Hmm.
He was a great player. Uh, यार हम लोग हाईलाइट खेलते हैं एक ही सिंपल रीजन है बिकॉज हम वी वांट टू विन द बॉल as far further as possible because teams against us want to play defensive. So हमारा ground to cover कम हो जाता है. So we are going to play high line. High line वो जो level पे high line कोई भी खेलेगा ना can look vulnerable.
Hmm.
And Virgil
Hmm.
van Dijk makes us look very calm even at such a high line. I am not worried about Virgil van Dijk at all. You can say question निधि कर सकते हैं हम लोग कि हाई लाइन क्वेश्चनेबल है कि नहीं बट वर्जिल वैन डाइक क्वेश्चनेबल बिल्कुल नहीं है ब्रो.
Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Hmm.
yeah, so I sort of agree with that statement in the sense that Van Dijk has lost a bit of pace. I think it'll take 4 to 5 months to come back to his best. Um, but the vulnerability that we are talking about is Highline ka issue. Hai. It's not Van Dijk's issue. By the
Hmm.
way, Paulo Di Canio should also know that Van Dijk is also the guy who can kill Inter with one diagonal ball. Right? वो एक diagonal ball डालेगा and Trent will run and he will give a pass inside and Jota, Salah,
Hmm.
Fabinho, anybody can finish that off.
5 सेकंड के
So
अंदर गोल हो सकता है उसके पास
हाँ,
बॉल है
so
Yeah.
हमारे
you know
ऑक्स
yeah,
लिटरली.
and this is not even talking about his defensive abilities, which I don't doubt.
Hmm.
There can be systemic issues that Inter can exploit.
Hmm. But then that is one thing about Virgil van Dijk. He does things so calmly that we tend to think कि यार कुछ किया नहीं है बंदे ने, we are vulnerable. But
Yeah.
that brings me to my second question. That is playing highline a boon or bane for you? What do you think that is it like absolutely necessary for us to do that? Because if we are getting vulnerable in it, then what is the point? हाँ, बट I'll agree कि वो जो ऑफसाइड ट्रैप है अगेंस्ट एनी टीम कितनी बार हमने प्लेयर्स को ऑफसाइड ऑफसाइड में वो पकड़े गए हैं उस चीज में बिकॉज आवर ऑफसाइड ट्रैप इज सो गुड सो इट इज वर्किंग आल्सो बट डू यू थिंक दैट इट्स एब्सोल्युटली नेसेसरी फॉर अस टू प्ले लाइक दिस?
Look, first of all, on the offside trap, there is a stat that we have caught teams offside 90 times. The second team to catch any other team offside is Manchester City. Unka 47. So we are double. Right. Now, having said so, Highline, look, like Manas said, we like to win the ball up front, like as far ahead on the pitch as possible. वो क्यों? क्योंकि हमारा स्टाइल वैसा है कि Trent runs and then he sometimes he will overlap with Salah, or sometimes even Henderson takes those positions, and it's just better for us to do that over a shorter distance, over a longer distance, right? So boon or bane, it's definitely a boon. I think that style suits us. Same with Robo, and even the diagonals that Van Dijk puts in, or Robo's crosses. That's it's definitely a boon. It has some vulnerabilities which have been exposed at times, but come on, it's not like there's no foolproof style out there. Every style will have some chinks in the armor, right?
100% मतलब हम लोग 4 कंपटीशन में है अभी भी. अगर इतना खराब होता तो ये सिचुएशन में नहीं होते हम लोग जो सिचुएशन में है.
Yeah, absolutely. And my next question is that since we are going to play Inter, so who are you the most scared of going into this match that can actually make us lose the game and not give us a good experience of that match?
निधि, I know what you want to say तो तू बोल दे.
No, like Manas was saying, we just did a podcast with an Inter fan. So
Hmm.
for me, it is Edin Dzeko. That guy has an excellent स्कोरिंग रिकॉर्ड अगेंस्ट अस. उसको कुछ तो हो जाता है हमारे डिफेंडर्स. रोमा के साथ 5-0 जीत रहे थे, उसमें भी उसने एक या दो मार दिए थे.
Hmm.
So the guy that worries me the most is Edin Dzeko. He is a good player and he has a very good record against us.
हमारा लक,
Okay.
मतलब लक की बात नहीं है, इट्स जस्ट इंटर का लक खराब है कि बरेला दोनों गेम के लिए नहीं है। बरेला बहुत बहुत अच्छा प्लेयर है, एंड द फैक्ट दैट
सही
ही इज
में।
नॉट इन द मिडल ऑफ द पार्क, दे विल स्ट्रगल। अपार्ट फ्रॉम जेको, आई जस्ट वांट टू ऐड ब्रोजोविच। ब्रोजोविच
Hmm.
बहुत अच्छा प्लेयर है। ब्रोजोविच एंड पेरिसिच
Hmm.
आर टू प्लेयर्स वी माइट हैव टू बी लिटिल वरीड अबाउट। इफ वी कैन कीप देम क्वाइट, गेम हमारा है।
डू यू थिंक दैट मिडफील्ड उनका ज्यादा स्ट्रांग है हमारे से? लाइक उनका मिडफील्ड में हो सकता है, देयर इज अ पॉसिबिलिटी दैट दे कैन win the game from there. Do you think that it's going to happen? Because if you see the stats of them, because they play that way, they play with back three and then 5-2. So do you think that it's possible that they can exploit us from the midfield?
बरेला नहीं है तो वो क्रिएटिव आउटपुट की थोड़ा उनको क्रिएटिविटी कम होगा
Hmm.
उनका। तो अभी यू हैव टू आल्सो अंडरस्टैंड दीपिका कि हमारा जो इंटेंसिटी है ना प्ले का, वो सेरिया
Hmm.
में बहुत कम होता है। यू नो लाइक द वे वी
Hmm.
विल कम आउट एंड प्रेस एंड यू नो लाइक उनको समझ नहीं आएगा स्पेशली रैनफील्ड की क्या हो रहा है। दिस इज वन थिंग फॉर
Hmm.
श्योर। सो
Hmm.
वी विल नॉट गिव देम मिडफील्ड टाइम। सो वो ऑप्टिमम लेवल पे नहीं खेलेंगे, एज इट इज एक अच्छा प्लेयर नहीं है। अगर विडाल खेलेगा, विडाल स्लगिश है, विडाल इज लिटिल ओल्ड,
Hmm.
so he will struggle. I am not worried. I think Fabinho is the best defensive midfielder in the
CDM,
world.
yeah.
Thiago is going to play this game for sure, and we
Hmm.
have to manage Thiago well. That's why he didn't start last league game against Bournemouth.
Hmm.
So ये गेम पक्का शुरू करेगा, मेरे हिसाब से हेंडो खेलेगा उसके साथ। So we
Hmm.
gonna pack the midfield. We gonna make it tough for them. We gonna. I'm not worried about the midfield. Nidhi, are you?
Hmm.
Not worried. Look, देखो यार, Inter, the way they play, their attacks basically go through the middle. Our attacks are
Hmm.
created more on the flanks. That's the
Flanks, yeah.
basic difference between Liverpool and Inter in the way we create chances. So obviously their midfield has to be more output oriented, whereas ours is more work oriented. तो
Hmm.
उसके वजह से क्या होता है कि the stats of their midfield will look better because assist वहां से आ रहे हैं, की पासेस
Hmm.
वहां से आ रहे हैं, एक्सजी वहां से आ रहा है। तो वो डिफरेंस है। आई एम नॉट वरीड अबाउट आवर मिडफील्ड, बट आई ऑल्सो नो दैट a team that is compact and tries to play through the middle can also worry
Hmm.
us a little. But
Yeah.
I'm not worried about our midfield. I think we have the best defensive midfielder in the world. We have one of the best passers in the world in Thiago and Henderson's leadership. They will do the job that is assigned to them.
Hmm.
And Fabinho has
And
scored 5 goals already this year. So
I was going to say the same thing. I said our CDM can score as well, so we don't
yeah.
really have to worry about that now. But 5 goals and चार तो इसी साल 2022 में imagine. तो I don't know what has happened to him, but whatever it is, I'm happy that it keeps happening to him. So it's been very good for us. But also, like you said that हम जिस intensity से खेलते हैं, Manasi said that. So don't you think that कभी-कभी ये थोड़ा a bit of worry भी होता है, because it's very difficult for us, for any team, to play with that intensity in that entire 90 minutes. तो हम शुरू तो even with AC Milan this happened when they came at Anfield. तो आते ही they didn't know कि क्या हुआ. You remember that? Like जैसे गेम शुरू हुआ था, गोल पे गोल हो रहे हैं and all, like man this is our game, and suddenly फिर उधर से भी गोल्स आने शुरू हुए just when they got accustomed to it, because it's not possible to keep that intensity in पूरा 90 minutes. So even if we start the game like that, so don't you think जब थोड़ा थकने लग जाएंगे, and that is when Inter can hurt us?
See, against AC Milan, we had 2 bad minutes. तभी हमने 2 गोल खाए. Literally, that's all that they had in that game. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not even joking. वही 2 मिनट थे, errors हुए और गोल we conceded. It
Hmm.
happens. I am not worried about intensity of our team. बिल्कुल नहीं यार, हमारी टीम योर्गन क्लॉप के अंडर सालों से ऐसे खेल रही है. And now we have the depth. जैसे you mentioned Luis Diaz. Okay, so now we have the option to. Minamino has scored so many goals as well. We have options
Hmm.
in the front three. नाबी केटा इंशाल्लाह फिट रहे, अच्छा ही रहेगा तो नाबी केटा खेल सकता है. We have Thiago, we have Milner, we have Henderson, we have Fabinho, we have Ox, we have Elliott. We can shuffle the pack. We have Konate who can fill in for either centre back. Simicas is doing so good. Kelleher is doing so good. If we pay a lot of money to sports scientists as well. अगर कोई अगर tired है ना गेम के पहले, हमें पता चल जाएगा तो वो नहीं खेलेगा. I am not scared about intensity, bro. We can play 120 minutes with this intensity. हम लोग पागल हैं अंडर योगन
Hmm.
ग्राउंड. We are like
The
racehorses,
most
bro.
entertaining football when it comes to it. Yeah.
Yeah, we are crazy. We are crazy. Like the
Yeah.
amount, how we press is unbelievable.
So if there is one thing that you're feeling like, हाँ ये थोड़ा negative point हो सकता है in our team where they can hurt us. So what is that one thing?
The fact that if you watch अभी जो बर्नली के साथ मैच हुआ था, if you watch that,
Hmm.
we
The wind,
struggled. The wind,
the
right?
wind.
The wind can be a problem, right? तो वरुण देव का थोड़ा हवन करना होगा, but no, jokes aside, we play the best when there is a team that is trying to play football. Inter
Hmm.
is an Italian team. They know how to. I mean, I know that stereotype that Italian teams will defend, which is not true anymore. But
Hmm.
still, they have the players to defend. If they play compact and they try to, and we have, we allow them spaces that they can exploit it.
Hmm.
Especially with what Canio you're talking about, long balls, vertical balls directly with
Hmm.
runners arriving late,
Yeah.
that can be a problem. Having said so, also like Mana said, I am sure that Klopp has been studying Inter Milan for जब से हम from the time the tie was made, he has been studying
Yeah.
it. This is not to say that Inter Milan cannot win, or there is absolutely nothing like that, but
Hmm.
uh, that is one chink in the armor that I see.
Perisic or Dumfries will be काफी important.
Yeah.
उनके लिए they play those wing backs. So
Yeah.
how they are able to cope with साला ट्रेंट, वो सेट तो पक्का है हमारा. साला ट्रेंट ही होगा. इधर रोबो के साथ कौन होगा? हाउ
हाँ.
Perisic defending against Salah and then Perisic against Trent. It's a battle उस तरफ. So I think there are areas where they can cause us problems. And हम लोग बात कर रहे थे कि bro like Handanovic है, अगर Bastoni back है तो De Vrij, we have Bastoni, I'm forgetting the third centre back. Then they have Çalhanoğlu in midfield, Brozovic, Perisic, Dumfries, Lautaro Martinez, Sanchez
Hmm.
available, Vitales. So उनके पास अच्छे player हैं, like so they
Yeah.
can hurt. They can
Yeah.
hurt us, and in the first leg there will be moments. San Siro pagal hoga. They like it will be loud. They will hurt us. Uh,
Hmm.
but it's just that if both teams play 7 on 10, ना, हम लोग जीतेंगे. It's as simple as that. अगर
Hmm.
दोनों अपना 70% capacity पे खेले हम लोग जीतेंगे. I'm very confident
Hmm.
about
Hmm.
that.
Hmm. So going into it, if you have to predict anything going into the match, what is it going to be?
हम लोग गोल पक्का मारेंगे. पहले लेग में. ये मैं बोल रहा हूँ.
तो ये भी
हम लोग
बताओ कि
गोल पक्का.
मारेगा कौन? मारेगा कौन? जोटा?
आई थिंक साला मारेगा. साला एज अ पॉइंट टू प्रूव है. क्या लगता है नितिन?
Hmm.
थोड़ा वो फाइनल के बाद थोड़ा मेरे को लाइक धोनी के अगेंस्ट भी उसका डोमिना थोड़ा मेरे को लाइक थोड़ा काम लगा. लाइक थोड़ा चुप था ऐसा.
I don't know. I get a feeling that in one of the, I think the second leg actually, Luis Diaz will have a say. This might be the game where Diaz, I mean, he's already announced himself in terms of like a good player,
Yeah.
but I think this can be this two legs. One of them can be a huge moment for Luis Diaz.
नितिका हाउ
Wow.
सरप्राइज विद यू भी अगर ओरिगी विनर मारे कुछ ऐसा हो तो.
Not at all.
Not at all.
I'm तो telling you अगर नहीं कुछ मिल रहा है, it's 75th minute into the game and you're thinking कि we don't know what to do. Klopp should bring him in कि चल तू आजा. Let's just put it on him. तो मुझे ऐसे सही में लगता है, especially in Champions League, that guy is in some other vibe. He comes with that vibe कि आज आज चलो एक गोल मारते हैं. He comes, he plays, he go and sit and he'll be happy कि हो गया मेरा 2-3 महीने का
एक्चुअली
गोल.
दैट्स सो ट्रू ना. एक गोल मारने के और 5 मैच चिल मारेगा.
Origi
बस कि हो गया.
Origi is what Gareth Bale thinks he is. Yeah, Origi is the guy who can produce and chill. Outside वो घूमता रहता है, उसको फर्क नहीं पड़ता है.
मेरे को
ठीक
एक
है.
मेरे
And
को एक
still a
बात बताओ.
legend. And still a legend.
मेरे को एक बात बताओ, लेवेंडोस्की ने चैंपियंस लीग फाइनल में गोल मारा है क्या? नहीं, ओरिगी ने मारा है, ये याद
Huh?
रखना, ये हमेशा याद रखना, ठीक है?
सही में। So what
चलो
is the
ओके,
prediction, guys?
फर्स्ट लेग 2-2.
Two?
I'm
Did you say
being
2-2?
Yeah, I'm being safe. I'm being safe. I'm confident we'll win, but I am going to be cautious while predicting. I think we're going to win, but I'm going to say 2-2. Nidhi
Okay.
doesn't do predictions. Nidhi doesn't
No,
do predictions.
I don't do predictions. There is only one thing in life that I'm superstitious about, and that is predicting Liverpool scores. वो जब मैं करता हूँ तो it's not a good thing. So it doesn't go well. So I won't predict. I just
I
hope we win.
absolutely understand. It's like, I used to think that I am unlucky. So I stopped watching matches of Liverpool. मैं सिर्फ वो पिन करके रखती थी कि क्या चल रहा है, क्या स्कोर चल रहा है बस. Because I thought that I'm unlucky. जब भी
But
मैं
do you
देखती हूँ वो
watch
शायद हार
matches
जाते
now?
हैं.
Do you watch matches
I
now?
do. Listen, I do. I'm
Because
watching the matches now.
No,
So
no, because you
it's
are
fine.
because your questions are so well informed, and they should
Yeah.
be, because we are doing a podcast together. I would have been very surprised if you are not watching the matches now. I was saying that you can't.
No, no, I have. It's
बिना
not
देखे
possible,
इतना पता है.
But my prediction going into the match is going to be 3-2. I think हम goals concede करने वाले हैं, but I think that we'll win it. तो हम last minute पे वही जैसे ओरिगी वाला concept हो गया कि कोई ना कोई आके तो goal मारेगा, and I'm hoping that we do that. But मुझे ये positivity मानस से लग रहा था कि he's going to say कि we're going to win this because he has been positive from the like we started this podcast and he's like there is nothing
I,
wrong with Liverpool. So I thought,
no, there is nothing wrong, but you have to. We're not playing Sampdoria, no? We're playing Inter Milan at San Siro.
yeah,
It's if we play Manchester City away, I will still be positive, but online में
hmm.
वो थोड़ा we are playing champions of Italy, who are top of Serie A right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they've had two weird results, really, but they are
Hmm.
a bloody good team. We have to give
Yeah.
them credit. So that's why I'm going 2-2. I'm confident
Hmm.
about overall. I'm confident we'll qualify, but I'm giving them respect. Yeah, that's it.
I'm giving them respect and giving them 2 goals against Van Dijk. So that's the respect that I would like to give, but not 2-2. So that is
Fair.
the max I can go there. But then, okay, it's our prediction, and Nidhi doesn't do prediction. So I'm not even going to ask you because it's my match. It's our match, and I'm not going to be that superstition wala bring here and let's not do the prediction, then doesn't matter. But that brings me to our last segment 3. And that is we're going to make a combined 11 and उसमें जो भी हमको लगता है strongest combined 11 of that team that can look like हम वो बनाएंगे. सबसे पहले हम है कि I'll just be the tiebreaker if there is any between you two, but mostly तुम दोनों का टीम होने वाला है. I'm going to be the tiebreaker here.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So
So
this is the
starting with
team
the
for this
manager.
season. The team for this
हाँ,
season.
team exactly for this अभी जो not you can't even say the season but just like going into the match अभी Inter versus Liverpool है. So who do you think is going to be the strongest one अगर हमने combined अपना team उठाना हो for the game?
Oh,
Something.
so for example, we cannot choose Barella because he's not available.
No, 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 no. We'll not choose Barella because he's not available.
ठीक है. ठीक है.
So who? So manager, yeah, I'll just ask you who's going to be the manager of the
Hmm.
team. पहले
I
चलो
wonder
टीम
who.
बनाते हैं फिर देखते हैं कि मैनेजर कौन होगा.
Okay.
क्या मतलब, अगर मैनेजर क्लॉप के अलावा कोई और है, मैं वीडियो छोड़ के जा रहा हूँ फिलहाल, मैं सच बोल रहा हूँ ब्रो.
But let's make the team first and then we'll go for the manager. So what is the formation like that you think formation तुम्हारे लिए work करेगा?
Are you okay with 4-3-3? A
I am
Liverpool
okay
formation?
with anything. I'm okay with anything, but it really depends on the players we are going for. But let's go with 4-3-3, and then if
Yeah,
it looks
Okay.
like we need to change,
we are
we'll change.
Liverpool supporters, so 4-3-3 makes sense.
All right. So we're going to start with the goalkeeper now. तो goalkeeper में we have मतलब अपने लिवरपूल के बारे में तो क्या ही बताना. But then what do you think? Who are you going to go with here?
Oh, Allison for sure. Handanovic is very
Error prone.
mistake prone. Yeah. So Allison.
All right. So okay, we have Ellison here. So let's talk about the centre backs first. Centre
Van
back
Dijk तो
pairing के लिए
आएगा ही. Van Dijk तो
Van
आएगा ही
Dijk.
नहीं.
हाँ, Van Dijk
या
तो आएगा.
वैन डाइक तो होगा. वैन डाइक
हाँ.
तो होगा.
हाँ. And Matip. I would go
Okay,
for
so
Matip.
you
Nidhi,
don't.
Nidhi, you would go for who? You can be honest, Nidhi. कुछ और है तो.
No, no, no. Look. I don't watch a lot of Italian football, so
Hmm.
uh, I
If you
would go
want,
for
I'll
Van Dijk.
show you the players as well. Shall I?
No, no,
Yes,
I
please.
know. Yeah, Nidhi, I know it's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Debray,
I'll just show you that.
Stoney, Dimarco, Skriniar, देख डिवराई कॉलरॉफ को निकाल दिया है, बास्टोनी, स्क्रिनियर एंड डिवराई आर द थ्री that they go for always.
वर्जिल
Matip.
वैन डाइक के साथ कौन?
Matip. The one player that I can think of can partner Van Dijk is Skriniar, but I think Matip and Van Dijk play very well together.
राइट
So
बैक में फिर तो ऐसे राइट बैक में आल्सो इट्स गोइंग टू बी ट्रेंट एंड नोबडी एल्स देयर.
In right back, may you can do this discussion with me with PSG, Real, whoever you want to. It is always going to be Alexander Arnold.
I think, guys, without wasting time, the entire back four should be Liverpool. Like Robbo is one of the
I
best
agree.
left backs. So
I
I don't
agree.
think I would pick Perisic over. Perisic plays left wing back, so I wouldn't pick.
Oh,
अरे बाजो, अरे
Sorry.
रोबर्टो बाजो आ गई
चलेगा, बाजियो चलेगा.
so this is done. So what do you think about the midfield? यहाँ पे
Fabinho,
डिबेट होगा थोड़ा.
Fabinho, Nidhi. Fabinho has to be there.
He has to be there.
I would go with Brozovic, Nidhi.
I would go with Brozovic as well.
We are going with 4-3-3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So बाजू में Brozovic आएगा Fabinho.
Brozovic. I would have definitely selected Barella, but since you're
Yeah.
saying that
Yeah,
Barella is not
actually,
there,
yeah. So people who are watching this video before they get a little angry with our selection, based on this season, we would have Brozovic and
Fabinho.
Fabinho. We would have gone with Barella because we would have honestly.
Yeah.
Because he's had a good season before being suspended, and he was brilliant even in the Euro 2020. He's a great player. Last season as well for Inter, he was so good. But nahi available.
How about Hakan? Can you go with Hakan?
Hakan Çalhanoğlu to I
Yeah. See, the thing is, I mean, the midfield that we are choosing, at least I am thinking, who's going to be in the front three also, because Alexander Arnold, and if you, of course, on the right wing we'll have Salah. Then this spot cannot also be a very attacking player. Likes to bomb forward,
Yeah.
because that axis doesn't work.
So Dumfries.
midfield नहीं वो midfielder नहीं है, उसको हम midfield में नहीं ले
तो
सकते.
wing back है ना?
Right wing back है.
विंग बैक में आएगा.
देख विडाल है, वो नहीं आएगा ये टीम में. फिर चलनोग्लू नहीं आएगा.
I'll share the screen.
Yeah.
टेक्निकली तो थियागो आना चाहिए. देख ना अभी देख गोजेंस इंजर्ड है, डम्फ्रीज इज अ राइट विंग बैक, बरेला आउट है, ब्रोजोविच ले लिया है. चलनोग्लू फॉर मी इज not the same quality. Gagliardini is certainly not. Vecino is not. We would have loved to take in Nicolo Barella, but
Yeah.
I think midfield three में तो
So we are going
Perisic
to
नहीं
go with
खेलेगा.
Thiago.
I mean, look, had Barella been fit, it would have been a very simple decision. But
Yeah.
नहीं निधि हेंडो या थियागो. हेंडो ज्यादा खेला है थियागो से this season. थियागो
yeah, we're choosing based on ability, right? And Hendo ज़्यादा खेला है, but Thiago fit है.
ability या this season's form.
We are going to go for the.
अरे but form की बात करेगा तो फिर then the games that Thiago has played, he has been in better form.
यार अगर ability की बात है तो विडाल तो legend है bro. Like उसने तो
The
बहुत जीता है.
current ability.
See, so tie break Nitika legi. I am going for Hendo. He is going for Thiago.
I think I'll go with Thiago. I know. I think that I'll go for Thiago for the strongest one.
I was just thinking कि ज़्यादा खेला Hendo, और हम लोग अगर ये सीजन की बात कर रहे हैं तो इसलिए मैं Hendo के लिए जाता. But Thiago is not a bad player at all.
All right, तो right में तो मैं anyway मतलब मेरे को पूछना भी नहीं है, but I'm going to put the legend here. What do you think about the striker, the center forward?
This is where it gets tricky.
Lautaro बहुत घटिया फॉर्म में थी.
हाँ, and he scored 0 in the Champions League.
Yeah, so Lautaro नहीं आएगा. Do you want to go for Zeko? Sanchez has not been in good form. Correa is injured. Saicedo नहीं. Martinez is in bad form. देख इसमें से अगर लेना है, देखो तो देखना Zeko कितना डरावना दिख रहा है इसमें भी नहीं.
देख के वो लग रहा है कि वो मतलब डरा रहा है.
देख एक ही प्लेयर लिए हमने इंटर का, तो मेरे को वो भी फीलिंग आ रहा है उसको ले लेना चाहिए.
Because then it would become slightly easier to select the man in the middle.
तुम
Man
क्या
in the middle
सोचते
can
हो?
be Jota as well, yaar.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
exactly. Yeah, इसलिए तो ना Jota can be left also. So basically it can
Yeah.
be Salah Mane Jota for all you know. But yeah, I'm going for Salah Mane Jota. The reality is I would play Salah Mane Jota
Yeah.
if I was the manager. If I had all these players available, no disrespect to anyone,
Yeah.
I would play Salah Mane Jota.
See, the with all due respect, here, based on current form and all, and of course, it can happen that Lautaro or Alexis can play very well
Hmm.
against us. But given the form, the only guy that makes the cut amongst the attacking players is
Hmm.
Zeko. But then Zeko, ko, you can't put in that role because then you have to change
But
the way.
role हाँ actually manager Klopp है ना तो हाँ तो इसलिए role then I agree with you manager Klopp है bro.
Mm, I
I
would
agree with you.
Jota on the left wing
Hmm.
and Firmino through the middle.
अरे 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 बाप रे मतलब ये
Firmino through
Jota
the middle, Jota on the left wing. So,
Yeah.
Manas, do you agree to that?
I
हाँ
I
बोलो.
am going for Mane Jota Salah. ये मेरा है. निधि is going
Hmm.
for Jota Firmino Salah. Okay. अभी आपके ऊपर है. Okay. ऋतिक का टाई ब्रेक अगेन आपके ऊपर है. आपको जोटा को किधर खिलाना है सेंटर में लेफ्ट में आपके ऊपर अगर आप लेफ्ट में खिला रहे हो आप जेको को भी खिला सकते हो बिकॉज जेको की बात भी कर रहे हैं हम लोग सो नितिका भी लीव इट अप टू यू
All right. See, Jota has to be there. And what am I doing? Why am I so tense here? But then I'm going to go for Jota here. And definitely, I will play Firmino here.
सो बेसिकली दोनों टाइम तूने निधि की साइड लिया चीटिंग हो रहा है इधर लाइक तूने त्यागो
See,
पे
I
नहीं
have
लिया
a reason. See, I have a reason for that. Okay,
हाँ,
one of the reasons is that अगर जैसे माने, I'm not saying कि देखो माने जैसा भी खेल रहा है इस बार and people will say नहीं फॉर्म में है लेकिन तब भी हमारे टॉप 10 प्रीमियर लीग के गोल स्कोरर में माने इज देयर जोटा एंड साला तो चलो पता ही है लगी फॉर्म में है बट अगर करंट फॉर्म में देखें ना फर्मिनो को एंड हाउ ही हैज लाइक अप हिज गेम बाय सो मेनी माइल्स आई फील लाइक जैसे पहले
सादियो
खेलता था
माने
पता है फर्मिनो
एक टूर्नामेंट जीता है और उसमें प्लेयर ऑफ द टूर्नामेंट था उसका नाम है एफकॉन ठीक है तो मतलब दैट इज लाइक यू ट्राइंग टू टेल मी
एक
फर्मिनो
तो
इज अ बेटर फॉर्म देन माने आई डोंट थिंक सो आई डोंट थिंक सो
आई एम
यार
सेइंग
एक तो ना
ही इज
even if we had to select three players from our team only, even
हाँ
then
तो
it
भी
is
नहीं
a
कर
very
पाता
tough decision.
हाँ आई एग्री बट to the lineup if Barella was available in place of Thiago I would have gone for Barella
Also, 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 if you change this to like a 4-3-1-2,
Hmm.
then a lot of like I can see at least three Inter players that make that team.
but अभी
All right, one second. We'll not like discuss on why is it that, but then let's keep this formation ek bar, and let's just go for that 4-3-1-2 that you're talking about. We'll cover it in 2 minutes. Yeah, I really
Okay.
want to see what players you are keeping. We have this 4-3-1-2, and which players shall I change now?
this is Nidhi's
I
formation
Yeah. So I would play Firmino in this formation. I'd play Firmino here in where Jota is, right?
Okay.
And alongside Salah, I would play Zeko. And then actually if Barella was fit, this would have been brilliant for but again, yeah, Barella. वही issue है.
Let's
Inter
go with Barella. It's okay. Barella is just suspended, तो
then
ये भी नहीं है. तो
then then
let's just go.
then then instead of Firmino, Barella.
All
Nidhi
right.
you're not doing this just to incorporate Inter players ना
No. I'm saying this whole thing.
पूछ रहा
If you play like this with our players,
Hmm.
हूँ
then you are basically not exploiting the middle of the park, which is 4-3-1-2 is all about.
fair it's also a good team
So this one is so you don't want to change any more players now. So this is how you want to keep it.
Yeah, I can talk about it for another hour, but let's move on.
yeah this is it bro this is it इतना तो
So
यॉर्गन
this
क्लॉप और इंजागी भी नहीं सोचेंगे यार क्या करना है आज लाइक हाँ आज
आई थिंक वी आर गोइंग टू गो विद दिस वन, है ना? ये थोड़ा होलसम लग रहा है, वो थोड़ा लिवरपूल ओरिएंटेड हो गया था बिकॉज़ ऑफ द फॉर्मेशन दैट वी चोज़। सो लेट्स गो विद दिस वन बिकॉज़ ये लग रहा है कि हाँ, 2 टीम्स का बना है। वो तो ऐसा लग रहा है किसी को बेंच से उठा के सामने रख लिया है। सो आई थिंक दैट वाज़ नॉट ओके, बट दिस इज़ व्हाट वी आर गोइंग टू कीप। एंड बाकी थैंक यू गाइस फॉर जॉइनिंग। आई नो मैंने 40 मिनट्स बोला था एंड टाइम थोड़ा ज़्यादा हो गया बिकॉज़ वी वर पुटिंग अ लॉट ऑफ थॉट इन द स्ट्रॉन्गेस्ट 11 दैट वी वर मेकिंग व्हिच इज़ नेवर गोइंग टू बी देयर एनीवे, बट it was just fun to do that with you both. So I had really like a lot of fun talking about Liverpool with you, and I hope we can do this more. So thank you so much for
Absolutely.
coming. And guys, मैंने इनका link description box में डाल दिया है. Guys, go check them out, and they produce very good content on Liverpool. Good night, guys, for tuning in. It was really good to have you.
Thank
See
you
you
All
so
guys.
right,
much,
Thank
bye.
you so
Nikita.
much for having us.